Welcome to Secrets of the Sussexes. Barely had the tea cooled at Clarence's house after their absolutely private meeting when, from Kiev, came the interview heard across half the country. My conscience is clear, this is not revenge but responsibility, the British public is on my side, and the most innocent of all, in the coming year my focus will be on my father. For these 7 words, courtiers are now clenching their jaws harder than they did in the briefings after Spare. To anyone schooled in the old ways of the palace, this is no trifle but a trigger. The press now has license to read between the lines day after day about the king's health and the private agenda of the meeting. In an instant, the quiet reset evaporated faster than Meghan's Instagram rosé-captioned "Beau is back." A moment of your attention, because this matters for those watching closely. In a few minutes we'll break down where Harry tripped himself, why he chose such wording about his father, and what kind of polite but firm counter-strategy the palace is preparing. Stay until the end, we'll show how he could have said the same thing without blowing up the news cycle. Let's start with a household detail older viewers spot instantly. Meghan's toast to Beau's return, complete with the brand's label carefully caught in shot. A domestic moment. Lovely. But when every domestic moment comes with a price tag, "Please give us privacy" ring like an advertising slogan. This isn't cynicism, it's audience fatigue. If an event is truly intimate, hide the labels, hide the cues for journalists. Silence works better than any emoji caption. Now to the phrase "focus on my father." Outwardly it is soft, with no dates or diagnoses. But try to find one seasoned press secretary who would approve even a hint about plans surrounding an ailing monarch after a private tea. It's taboo. The only safe formula is, "I don't speak about family." Full stop. Any just a little becomes a full news cycle, endless "what did he mean, how should we read this, who will confirm?" And suddenly Invictus, rehabilitation, prosthetics all fade into the shadows. He could have brought Ukraine a clean agenda. Instead he carried in a fog from Clarence's house. Pause for those watching without skipping. If you're still here, hit like. It helps push this analysis to those who value monarchy without sugarcoating. Then comes the old mantra. My conscience is clear, this isn't revenge, it's responsibility. Without truth there is no reconciliation. Noble words. But truth in monarchy is not a flow of sentences, it's discipline afterward. When every last interview is followed by another, truth becomes a billboard. Older viewers feel this instinctively. Respect is earned not by the loudness of confessions, but by the length of the pause that follows. The louder he repeats "my conscience is clear," the more audible the creak of the next door opening to journalists. Another note, the claim "the British public is on my side." Perhaps the receptions were warm, people are not cruel. But true support is quiet. It isn't declared, it's proven. How? With months without leaks. With trips without cameras. With reports without me. With dull but solid numbers. How many rehab halls, how many trainers, what timelines. And no lyricism around a father's illness. Only that way does the roof of trust stop leaking. Where did he undermine himself most? 2 phrases back to back. "Yes, I'd like to spend more time in Britain, this week has brought that closer." And immediately after, "In the next year my focus will be on my father." Together this is no longer hope, but the outline of a visiting schedule tied to private family matters. For the palace, a code red signal. They had just extended a rare credit, nearly an hour face-to-face, no cameras, no extra ears, and in return they hear just a little about the most forbidden topic. Even if Harry thought it a trifle, in the king's system of trust it costs 10 points at once. Consider place and time, Ukraine. People there need specifics, not riddles. They need to know where rehab centers will open, who is paying, which partners, what dates. Instead the talk is once more about personal matters. The result, less coverage of the war wounded, more of Charles's health and what Harry said. Exactly what London feared, the useful trip becoming mere backdrop to another half-sentence. To be fair, in Invictus matters he speaks well, changing pity into respect, pride instead of shame, strong points. But for them to land, the background must be sterile. No leaps into family issues, no couple of words on the personal. Here he shorts his own circuit. A shame, because the core message was right. What happens next? Don't expect a public rebuke. This palace punishes with silence. Cold protocol clicks in. William and Catherine continue with their packed, long-scheduled appearances, no chance accidental encounters, no joint frames, zero confirmation of any future private meetings. Quiet, firm, unsparing. Not anger, protection. The monarchy requires predictability, and he remains a noisy variable. And the media? After such interviews, tabloids shift to macro focus, scrutinizing every gesture, whisper, glance in Charles's official footage. Which means the narrative again is not the crown but the thermometer. In the eyes of older viewers, the worst possible shift. Those who remember Elizabeth II value not candor but composure. Where it is dull and orderly, tabloids fall asleep. Quick insert for attention. If you've stayed this far, write one word in the comments, "We hear." That's how we know you value calm analysis without hysteria. Could he have said it differently and avoided lighting the fuse? Yes, with one phrase, "I don't speak about family at all." And then only work. No selfies at memorials, no labels in shot, no branded winks under toasts. Boring? Yes. But boredom is the currency of trust for viewers raised on never complain, never explain. After 3 or 4 months of such discipline, those who truly matter, not tweeters but watchers of pauses, would notice. Back to Meghan for a moment. Officially she's off stage. Yet even a domestic toast becomes a showcase for her line. Not a crime, but no help to a husband trying to prove, "We're not about media anymore." Years of scrutiny have trained the public to spot such details. Whatever the caption, the impression remains, every moment is still a stage. Another nuanced kitchen table conversations will circle, his claim that the British public is on my side. He may feel warmth at charitable events. But the nation is not an applause hall or a clip in a segment. The nation is memory. And in memory remains spare, the barbs about his brother, the hints about too little time. To overwrite those files takes a long stretch of silence and labor without the signature. Every new harmless answer pushes the reset back by months. The bottom line, he didn't need to give this interview. Or he could have, trimmed of anything that even cast a shadow on family. Instead he chose a drop of hint. In monarchy, a drop always becomes a flood. The cycle is predictable, headlines swell with speculation, the palace clamps tighter, useful work in Ukraine sinks beneath what he meant. Each round makes the next tea without witnesses far less likely. Does he want to return to trust? Perhaps. Then the recipe is as plain as porridge, a long spell without one family phrase, every question, no comment. In public only deeds and numbers, not a single frame where a label or subtext can be read. Hold to it, and the ice moves. Fail, and the next half-sentence costs another closed door. If you support this kind of breakdown, press like. To new viewers, subscribe. We have more coverage ahead of the royals without fandom and without trading facts for slogans. And tell us in the comments, do you believe he can endure even one long stretch of silence? Your answers are the truest litmus of this story.